Okay, we're back here at East Stroudsburg. I better get that one right. Stroudsburg High, right, Skip?
Stroudsburg High School, that's right.
Of course, East Stroudsburg just up the road. Okay, we're back here about ready for the second half of this State College Championship football game, and boy, we've had a good first half. Of course, it's good so far as Skip Iadukis is concerned, representing East Stroudsburg State College, and Jim Jonesfield from Edinboro. Jim and half, we talked about possibilities coming up in the next two quarters, and you look for Edinboro to bounce back.
Well, I certainly hope so. They've done a good job all year long coming back from behind, and they're a mature team, and I think they're not panicking yet, and we'll see what happens, Bob.
Okay, we're ready for the kickoff, and booting the ball again is Pete Radoka, and he gets the high kick, and this time it's taken short at the 25, and the return up to about the 35-yard line. So
excellent field position.
Right, starting the third quarter, it's 17-6. And we already, Skip, unfortunately, looks like there's a East Stroudsburg player down in the field.
I couldn't pick up his number. It was someone that's on that bomb squad going down underneath those kickoffs.
Right.
I think he just had the wind knocked out of him. It's Solly Young, as I said, one of the free spirits. There's a lot of wind to be knocked out of him, but he'll be back.
Okay. Okay, we're ready to go here. First play now, and the injury taken care of. Your quarterback is Jude Basile, and he's been throwing the football. We expect him to throw quite a bit more. And the handoff to Green, and Green is stopped and driven back again to the line of scrimmage. Of course, today's football game is being brought to you by Mount Airy Lodge and also Penn Hills Resort and Saw Creek, the Poconos Resort Living Community, and by Edinboro State College as a public service to friends of the colleges and to their alumni everywhere. And we are back to the action. It's the second play of the second half. Edinboro State with the football. And Basile going to pitch out to Green again. He stopped again. 1 yard gain, and that's it for Green.
Number 61, Jeff Johnson, reading up very well on that wide play. Come in to make the tackle.
And Skip, a look at the first half statistics.
East Stroudsburg with 144 yards rushing compared to 57 for Edinboro, and that just might tell the tale of the first half. Of course, of that 144, a lot of it on that one play by Mike Terwilliger, but nonetheless, they seem to be able to run the ball when they have to.
Oh, it's 3rd and 9. And now East Stroudsburg expecting a pass, sends 3 linemen. And Basile trying to unload long. It's short of the mark, and interception. And with the football, the ball loose. And recovered by Edinboro at the 27. A big break for the Fighting Scots, Jim.
Boy, that was disaster. Turned into a great break for us. An interception, and then a good hit. The ball popped loose, and a recovery in the air, and he can advance the ball. Edinboro has a great break, and the 2 breaks in the first half were against us, and there's one for us.
And we'll see it again.
That's Rich Rodenberg going high in the air to take the ball, and then the hit, and the ball pops loose.
That was Steve Larson on that.
Yeah, looked like a lateral. Unintentional, of course, as far as East Stroudsburg is concerned. 1st and 10. Now the ball loose, bounces right back up to Dave Green. And Green gets inside the 25.
Well, there's another break for us. And, you know, it's pretty cold out there. It's pretty hard to hang on to that ball. It's bitter cold, and it's showing on the ball players early in the second half.
And, of course, the sun is slowly sinking in the west here at Stroudsburg High School Stadium in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And as Jim mentioned, it is cold, fellas.
It is a little nippy. I'll give you that. It is a little nippy.
Jude Basile, the quarterback, all the way for Edinboro, trying to get the Scots back in the game. Green again on the sweep around the left end, and he gets inside the 20 and is very close to the 15.
Rich Rodenberger on the stop, knocking him out of bounds on the far side.
Okay, and of course we welcome the viewers watching today's championship game over WQLN-TV, Channel 54 in Erie, Pennsylvania. And we hope they're enjoying the game out that way, Jim.
I hope so, too. It's a great area, and we're very happy to be from northwestern Pennsylvania and hope our fans in the area will enjoy the ball game. Maybe we can capitalize on this break.
Ball just short of the 15. Fighting Scott on the march after that big break 2 plays ago. The Seal again with a gear right up the middle of the green, and he pops it for 5 yards. He's near the 10.
That was a nice run by Dave Green up the middle. Fine offensive line blocking in there by our center, Doug Goodman, and Rich Radzovich, and Rick Bornador, some of our interior linemen, and don't get much credit.
There's Coach Dowds on the sidelines, obviously a little bit worried with that turn of events on what appeared to be an interception. Turns into a fumble, and now the Scots seem to be able to move the ball. This is a big defensive series for the Warriors.
Defense from the East Stroudsburg crowd down under us here. Seal to give. Time to go to Holmes. And Holmes is inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark it about the 9.5. We'll say the 9. And Bill McDonald, head coach, across the way from Edinboro State. Of course, Jim, I would expect that Bill talked to the fellas in the locker room and came up with a few changes in order to get back into this game.
I certainly hope so, and I'm sure he did. Some of our fine coaches in the stands, too, have picked up some things, and I know they've made some adjustments.
Third down. There's a pitch back to Green. A good block again. Fine block by Holmes, and he took the outside man out there, Jim. That opened it up for Green, and he might have that first. He does have the first down.
Well, first and goal. That was a big play. A good lead block again, and the option play to the right. And Jude waited. Proper time to pitch. Good pitch. A nice run up the middle, and we're in business now.
And just to recap, Edinboro scored in the first quarter, missed the extra point. East Stroudsburg then came back with 17 points and 2 touchdowns, extra points, and a field goal to lead 17-6. But Edinboro now knocking from the 3. And the ball loose. It's recovered in the end zone by East Stroudsburg State.
Well, you talk about one break on top of another break. I don't know if that was so much of a break or if that was a good hit. Number 25, Willard Stem, was the man that put his shoulder up into the ball carrier, and the ball fell loose.
Well, that was a solid hit, and we'll see it again.
I'll take that back. Willard Stem was the one that fell on the ball. He did not make the hit. He fell on the ball. There you see him being congratulated by Rich Rodenberger.
And Willard also with a flock of stars on his helmet up front. First and 10, East Stroudsburg. And Terwilliger, the quarterback, gives to Pete Radoka, and I guess, Skip, we can fairly say that Radoka has really been the workhorse in this football game.
That's been the key all year. Radoka has been able to carry the ball 20, 25, sometimes 30 times a game when asked to, and has not been injured. And this is the key. He's been injury-free for the whole season.
And they had a shot of Mike Terwilliger there, trying to warm the hands a bit back into the huddle. Strunk and Radoka, the running backs in that I formation for the Warriors. Again, the give to Radoka, cuts inside, and a big hole. And he is hit hard, but he has the first down at the 32-yard line.
Pete Radoka, familiar to many fans in the Lehigh Valley, he was a big 33 performer when he was in high school. He turned down some of the bigger schools and decided to play his football here at East Stroudsburg.
And again, you'll see Gray Siemens and Rick Jones alternating from the bench, carrying plays in from Coach Denny Dowds. We're in the third quarter here in this state championship football game. Give again to Radoka, he's up the middle for 4 yards.
Nice running back, and he's again looking for the holes. A nice hit in there by Greg Sullivan, and but the holes are there.
In the middle of that East Stroudsburg line, they're opening the hole for the running backs. Of course, Redoka doing most of the work. Now I might kind of anticipate Terwilliger going to the outside. He ran the middle twice, and he's been doing this most of the game. He's really alternating the calls.
Well, this is what the Scots can ill afford right now, is a sustained drive on East Stroudsburg's part.
Now they give to Strunk this time, and Strunk fights ahead. Now it's driven back, but they'll mark it at about the 38-yard line. And here will be a big third down play coming up for the Warriors. They're short of the first down. They need almost 4 yards.
This is where you might see the outside move. You might see either Redoka on a sweep or that option pitch keeper that Terwilliger likes to run so much.
And we're putting Siemens in the slot, left side. Now it is Golubinsky, and movement in the middle of the line. Number 52 might have jumped across there with the snap as the center.
A few of the boys exchanging pleasantries down in the middle of the field.
Early season's greetings.
Hello, how are you? What was your name again?
Well, there are 3 yellow flags on the field, and the call will be going against Edinboro.
I think what happened is that the center from East Stroudsburg saw the Edinboro man step across the line, and he wisely snapped the ball to the quarterback.
I think Coach Bill McDonald's a little upset because it seemed to be a couple of swings there, and thought maybe it might be a personal foul the other way and nullify the play, but the referee just called the illegal procedure.
And a first down for the Warriors.
Oh, East Stroudsburg will keep the football for perhaps a few more plays. This eats up the time. Now Terwilliger fakes it, now does pitch out to Redoka, and he'll come back this way, gets a block from Terwilliger. A flag thrown as Redoka continues to run, but across the way there is a flag, and we may get a big one coming up. I was going to mention, Skip, that there haven't really been too many penalties in the entire ball game.
I was going to say the same thing, and now we come up with back-to-back plays. Looks like a clip this time against East Stroudsburg. That happens every time you get someone trying to reverse direction on the field, and it's not really the fault of the ball player. He turns around and sees the flow of the play going the other way, and his first inclination is to hit somebody with the other colored shirt on, hopefully. And many times he just can't get the position that he'd really like to have him throwing the block.
Sometimes so, that breaks a big play. We had that happen against Saginaw Valley. David Greener on the 10-yard line and went to the right, was completely boxed in, reversed his field. There was no clip, and he went 90 yards for us close to the goal line for almost a score, set up a big score for us. So sometimes it works, and most of the time it doesn't.
Right.
Usually you see that work against a good defense, a defense that reads well, and they're over to the other side where they should be. And if you break it back, many times you can break it for the long gainer. This, of course, was not the case.
First and 25. Terwilliger fires over the middle, and a near catch, and it is ruled incomplete.
Number 85, Steve Reese, almost made a very nice catch on that ball. I think, again, the cold weather might have had a little bit to do with that. Those hands have to be cold down there.
But I'll tell you, Mike Terwilliger, he threaded the needle there. It was right in between 3 white shirts, and Reese was there, but just couldn't hang on to it. Terwilliger is a fine passer.
He certainly is, and he has the win this quarter, too, which he probably should use that pass as much as possible.
Now they'll come out of the I formation on this set. And the running backs, Redoka had the football, and he thought he lost it, and grabbed it again, and now the whistle stops play at the 26, but Redoka will be coming out, and he has an injured ear as his helmet was almost torn off his head. And there's Pete. He's in some pain there, Skip.
Yeah, I think somebody might have got a hand inside the helmet or ripped the helmet off, and in doing so probably took part of Pete's ear along with it, the way it looks. But you're right, that was potentially another disastrous play with the ball bouncing out of his hands and back into his hands again.
And we have 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Score still remains 17-6 East Stroudsburg. crowd, and it's incomplete at the Edinboro 30-yard line. Two deep receivers, Gray Siemens out there, and also Tom Polovinsky.
Siemens is claiming interference, but I really don't think it was. You know, when that ball is in the air, it's anybody's football. Both teams have equal right to go for it.
Right, that was George Miller, number 42, and he's been really a steady back for us in that secondary, and he did go for the ball, and I think it was a correct call.
Well, you had a good look at Siemens coming out of the ball game, and he was still looking downfield at the official. He didn't appreciate the call, or perhaps the missed call. And the East Stroudsburg kicker will be booting from about the 18. There's a kick, another good one. Fair catch. And right there is Bobby Glasser. He can't return this one. And Edinboro will put it in play on the Edinboro 37. Jim, you have a short word for us?
Well, at Edinboro, we have had a great deal of development in the past few years, and we're looking forward next fall to opening a new $4.5 million library, and the construction is going along quite well right now, and we're really looking forward to that new facility.
Okay, and back to the action down on the field. Jude Basile trying to get the Fighting Scots rolling here in the second half. Long count. And give to Green again, and Green, the workhorse, gets up to the 40-yard line. And there's the time and the score.
Of course, that Mounties on the scoreboard should really be Warriors, but I didn't get over here early enough today to paint over it.
You could have gotten the art department to take care of that, Skip.
Well, they said I could have painted it, but they wanted to see how I was going to get up there to paint it. That's what they wanted to see.
Well, we have a full house here in the Stroudsburg High Stadium. Very fine crowd, some 7, perhaps 8,000. Back goes Basile, looking, throwing the long one. Too long, and Willard Stem trying to get under it. And it's too far for Willard down at the 20-yard line of East Stroudsburg.
Big hit.
Willard.
Quarterback is down. Basile is down. I think he might have injured his hand or his arm.
Well, he's taking a deep breather.
Threw that very well against the wind, and I think it was he had to let it go just a little sooner than he would have liked to. Again, good pressure by East Stroudsburg.
That pass went about 50 yards in the air. That was well thrown against that crazy wind down there.
And Basile is going to the bench for a play, and there he goes. And he'll talk to Coach Bill McDonald.
That'll be a blow if you lose him for any part of the ball game.
Dan McHenry now in at quarterback.
And Green tried to come back the other way, and he stopped short of the first down by about 4 yards. So the Scots will be forced to punt the ball away again.
That was Rich Nicholas on the tackle. Rich is a native of East Stroudsburg and played at East Stroudsburg High School. Decided to complete his football playing days up on Normal Hill. Of course, East Stroudsburg High School is also enjoying a great undefeated season this year.
Fair catch. Ooh, in a crowd.
That was a good set of hands. That was a good set of hands.
And Rick Jones managed to hold on to the football. There was some contact there, but no flags. So East Stroudsburg will, again, put the football in play at the Warrior 28-yard line. 1st and 10. Terwilliger with a move outside, and we have 2 new running backs in now for East Stroudsburg.
It's a fine hit by number 80, Jan Geffert, defensive end. Read that play well and really covered more ground in his position. He made that stop in the middle.
And Hills has replaced Pete Radoka back there, Skip.
Wally Hills is an interesting story. Wally is an excellent football player. Of course, he's lost his job this year, a starting job, to Pete Radoka and to Harold Strunk. Hills was an honorable mention all-conference performer several years ago.
Come to Williger.
That's been the key to Williger's able to read that inside move on that quarterback option. That set up the first touchdown, and it's kept several drives alive today, which is just as important for Stroudsburg.
And he was nearly stopped, Jim, at the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely. I was going to comment, they just got out of the grasp of Ron Gooden, and that was a big gainer for us, but it could have been a nice stop. It was a very nice run.
About 15 yards on the play. It's 1st and 10. The fake is Strunk, and Terwilliger throwing to the far sideline, and good move down there by Gray Siemens.
Yes, Gray Siemens is the one that broke up that pass.
Right, George Miller again had a good shot at the ball, and really the offensive receiver caused that ball to be knocked out of his hand.
There comes Gray Seaman, and he just simply put his hand in there and batted the football away to prevent the interception.
I'm surprised East Stroudsburg put the ball up, though, the way they've been moving it on the ground.
You're not the only one that's surprised, Jim.
Well, you want a diversified attack, right?
That's right. When you show tendencies for an entire season, you have to do things differently in a championship game.
And again, the fake to the tailback, a little drop pass over the middle, intended for Gary Locks, and simply overthrew Locks.
It's a shame that man was open that time across the middle again, and Siemens threw the ball in there, but just threw it a little too high, a little too hard.
There's good pressure from our defense, and I think that's been something we haven't been doing up to now. It's putting a little more pressure on Terwilliger.
Say that he was surrounded by white shirts, that's for sure.
3:31 to go in the third quarter.
Third quarter, very quickly slipping away from us.
And they'll exchange the football. The one may have become frozen.
Put the round one in this time. Maybe that's why the pass was bad.
Here's a different set this time. Skip put a wingman out. That's Strunk, and they're going to Strunk. They hit him.
Harold Strunk showing a little bit of versatility on that play. Not only can he run and block, especially block, but he's also an able pass receiver.
And as I mentioned, it was a strange set, and there was another wrinkle that Coach Denny Dodds put in. And there's the line drive bullet right to Strunk.
Greg Sullivan, our linebacker, made the stop on that play, and had he turned around just a split second sooner, that ball was right there.
1st and 10, East Stroudsburg. The ball in the Edinboro 32. Strunk and Hills are the running backs in the eye. 41. Long count. Give to Strunk. Across the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Not much of a hole there. Jeff Shaw, number 71, doing a fine job in closing that one down.
That certainly is a sizable front four you have up there. I'll say that for Edinboro.
The skipper and the fellows have done a fine job in there.
2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain. Into the slot to the far right is Gray Siemens. To Hill this time, and he's still trying to run out of tackles, and he's stopped back at the 30-yard line.
Depends where they mark his forward progress.
Well, they're going to put it on around the 30. He bounced off the pile, Skip,
right,
and tried to get out of there. Of course, then
it becomes backward progress.
Right.
Jeff Shaw again on that stop, and he's playing a fine ball game.
It's kind of interesting to see now. Radoka is still injured down here on the bench, and they put Strunk at the tailback position and put Hills up front at the fullback spot. And it hadn't affected Strunk any. And there he goes.
Able for one man, that was 6 more points on the board.
That was a super call. Very good call. We were expecting the pass, and the hole was there on that little draw.
I think there were 8,000 people in the stadium that were expecting a pass.
And the entire right side of that East Stroudsburg line, there they are. They blocked in, and they cleared that side away, and Strunk went through that big hole. And he's finally stopped at the 15-yard line. Again, 1st and 10 for East Stroudsburg. The Warriors on the move. There's Radoka standing down here, rooting, cheering the team on. Pitch back to Strunk. Gets around the corner, but not much yardage. May have had a yard.
I think a play like that, we have to go back and give credit where credit is due. The offensive coordinator for East Stroudsburg State, Jeff Freeze from Utah. Jeff has put in this new offense last year, and it's taken a year for it to take hold. As soon as Jeff said, as soon as the guys believed that it could work and gave it a chance to work, he knew it would. And thus far this year it has. It's been a good offense, and he's the one that's responsible for most of the offense that Stroudsburg has had.
Again, splitting wide to the left. Slot man also to the left. Fake give, a flag thrown, and Williger is buried.
I think we have a little illegal procedure. A guard or a tackle seemed to pull up a little quickly.
And with the loss on the play, I would think Edinboro will say we'll take the play right there.
Again, Jeff Shaw on that tackle, and he wasn't really fooled. He just took a beat on the quarterback and stayed with him the whole play and made a fine play.
And the penalty refused. And again, our thanks to John Eiler, the Director of Athletics at East Stroudsburg State College, and Pete Nevins, the Director of Sports Information, and from Edinboro State, also Al Hall, Director of Athletics, Paul Newman, Director of Sports Information, and Bob Wallace, Director of Radio and Television at Edinboro State. Of course, the cooperation of these fellas have helped to make this game possible on WLVT Channel 39 in the Lehigh Valley. Third down, 16, pass.
That's complete.
It's complete at the 1-yard line.
Complete at the 1-yard line.
Super catch.
Tom Polobinsky.
I don't know how that got through there.
Number 81, Tom Polobinsky. Great catch. Clutch reception, that's what it was.
And we'll see this again, and we'll count the shirts around Polobinsky. 4 white shirts. How that ball ever got in there is unbelievable.
Well, it looks like the game may slip away here with this score. East Stroudsburg has a fine, sustained drive, and Edinboro State could be in deep trouble after this one.
First down, goal to goal from the 1. Terwilliger with the call. Gives it to Hills, and Hills is stopped short of the goal line.
I think this is where they may miss Thunderfoot Rudoka a little bit.
And Pete still down on the sideline, has his helmet under his arm. And he is not going in at the moment, and that play ends the third quarter. And score is still 17-6. So we'll be back with the fourth and final quarter of today's Pennsylvania Conference Championship football game in just one moment. Okay, we're back here in the hills of the Pocono Mountains in eastern Pennsylvania, and of course we hope you folks out near Erie are enjoying this championship football game. There's the score, 17-6, East Stroudsburg State College in the lead, and we're ready to go with the fourth quarter, and the Warriors of East Stroudsburg are on the Edinboro 1-yard line.
Notice number 42 seems to be back in the lineup, I believe. Yeah, Rudoka is back in the game. I don't look for anything fancy, just straight up the middle to Rudoka.
And Rudoka in the tailback position. In front of him is Strunk. Strunk leads it into the hole. There's Rudoka fighting, and he did! You call it, Skip.
Maybe I'll get a job as a soothsayer somewhere. That's not really hard to call, though. Pete Rudoka's done that time after time this year, and it's no secret. Edinboro scouted this team well, and they knew Rudoka was a good ball player. I'm sure they had as much respect for Rudoka as Coach Dowd's team had for Edinboro.
Absolutely. It's one thing to know what they're going to do, and it's another thing to stop that play. And I think everybody knew Rudoka might carry the ball, but he just has good power, and they're opening up that little hole, and he goes through the seam.
Okay, Bob Boyd from Mount Pocono kicking. It's there. This kid has a strong foot. So, Skip Dukas, as we await the kickoff, how about a word from East Stroudsburg State College?
Thank you very much, Bob. Football is not the only sport in which East Stroudsburg State enjoys success. The school sponsors teams in 23 sports for men and women. There are 5 other fall varsity sports, including soccer, cross country, field hockey, volleyball, and women's tennis. Overall, the fall sports team compiled a record of 53 wins and only 22 losses. The amazing part is that the entire athletic program is funded by activity fees paid by the school's 3,600 undergraduate students.
And down on the field, the Warriors of East Stroudsburg State College headed towards the championship for the state of Pennsylvania. And there's the big star at this point in the game today, Pete Madoka. Kicks off, runs like a miniature bull down there in the field, and of course the previous touchdown, he followed Strunk right into the hole and got the 6 points. And it's 24-6, and here's the kickoff down to the 4-yard line. And another tough runner, Dave Green, got the hole, comes outside, still running, and he's up to the 41. What a run, Jimmy.
Dave was bound to break one of those. He got a nice block, he made a nice cut, and I think there is a flag on the play that may tack on 15 more.
That looked like a late hit coming on after the man was down. I don't know that it was intentional, but nonetheless, it's still 15 yards.
I tell you, Dave Green took 2 steps, and he was in high gear. We'll see it again. 1, 2, and there he goes. Right up the middle.
Just like they diagrammed it.
Right, and there's the late hit, and 15 added to that, and the ball now on the East Stroudsburg State 44-yard line. And Jude Basile back in. We get a flag thrown across the way as Green carries out the running play. But there is a flag at the line of scrimmage across the way. And a clip is the preliminary signal, and it will go against the Fighting Scots. So they get 15, Jim, and now they may lose it right here.
That's right. And that kind of hurts any kind of a drive that you might get going here, and time's becoming a factor in the game. 24-6. You got to have a couple of quick scores and hope that you can get a break or two.
Obviously, these are mistakes you can ill afford to make any time in a football game, but more importantly, in the 4th quarter of a game like this. It's tough to play catch-up football when you give up 15 yards.
Well, especially, Skip, after you come off a good run back of the kickoff, you get an extra 15 on the late hit or personal foul, and now you lose it right here, and it certainly doesn't help matters.
Well, this is a key. It's a pivotal series. What happens in this series may determine what happens with the ball game.
And Basile wants to throw. And it's incomplete in front of the bench across the way.
It was caught by Willard Stem, but unfortunately Willard was on the other side of that little white line.
And Jim Basile was knocked down again pretty hard and staying in there.
Well, he's a fine quarterback, and he will stay in and throw. He's got a good arm, and he does have the wind with him this quarter. So I think you will see quite a bit of passing.
And we have a 2nd down and about 25 to go for the 1st down.
Yeah, watch out! Put that in!
And again over the middle, an open man, and it's a catch.
Very nice catch.
Very nice catch by Mark Malone. Alternates with Steve Larson, and he concentrated on that one.
Once again, he found that deep seam between the linebackers and the defensive halfbacks, and the ball had to be perfectly thrown. It had to be thrown high, and it was.
Of course, the ball appeared to be popping loose again, but as he was going down, it went right into his chest, and he held on to it for the reception.
You don't think because it might be a little cold down there, do you?
It sure is, if it's anything like it is up here.
So it's 3rd and about 6. Now Basile coming to the near side, and that one's incomplete, and standing around was number 34, Bellino again. And
I think Mr. Bellino might have taken a look at a wide open sideline that time. He seems to be talking to himself a little bit. Of course, this is the first game that he started, and he's played well. He's played very well this afternoon.
Yeah, the football was just a little bit too high, but you were right, Skip. He did have open spaces in front of him. Oh, here's the fake kick. That's enough for the 1st down, and look out.
That was a great play. Jeff Delbane, a freshman, came in there on that short snap, and we haven't done that at all this year. That's the first time I've ever seen that, and of course that was a good time to do it. You needed that first down, but it worked really quite well.
We have an injury over there. It's Willard Stem, I believe. I believe it's a knee. He seemed to be holding his knee as he went down.
And we also have a flag on the field down around the 15 or 18 yard line. So we'll see what happens there. There's a conference going on. And they are moving the yardsticks ahead. So apparently the penalty is against East Stroudsburg.
I think it may be a face.
No, it may be after that, and it may be 15 yards, make it 1st and 25 at that case.
Well, it could. You're right, Skip. I think they may be coming upfield 15, and that's what they're doing.
Well, they would make it 1st and 25 in that instance. Again, a golden opportunity perhaps for the Fighting Scots, and 15 yards. They still have the football, but they could have had the football in much better position.
Okay, the personal foul call has been made. The 15 yards stepped off. And now the doctor, I believe, going out onto the field to administer to Willard Stem. Willard says, I'm okay. He'll be coming to the bench.
You can bet it won't be for long if he comes to the bench.
And he's
holding his left arm.
Right?
It's not his knee. I'm mistaken. It is his left arm, obviously.
And the crowd cheering Willard Stem. Okay, the Fighting Scots, they're ready to play football. 1st and 25, however. Seal pitches back to Green, looks for the block, cuts inside, and picks up about 3 yards. Jim, it appeared that time Holmes was expecting Green to come out a little bit wider. He just didn't have a chance to throw a block.
No, he didn't. And again, East Stroudsburg's defense is reading that quite well, and they get a lot of people into the flow. And it's pretty hard for one man to knock everybody down. And Dave was waiting for it to set up, but just never did.
Now goes out across the way into the slot for Edinboro. The Seal with a fake. Whoa! Lots of time down over the middle, has his man. And now is the ball loose and recovered? Oh no, it's ruled no catch.
Ruled incomplete.
It was a perfect throw to Mark Malone. He couldn't quite hold on. It was a good hit, and the ball popped loose.
And of course the fans here on our side of the field were kind of blocked off from that. I don't think they saw the ball pop out as soon as the receiver was tackled.
Well, that's a judgment call on the official's part, and sometimes it's a tough call.
I mentioned Willard Stem wouldn't be out too long. He's back in the ball game already.
And there's Willard. 3rd down and 22 to go. And there is a catch. Ooh.
That's a completion.
That's tackling.
It's a little short of the 1st down, however.
Short by about 4 yards, but that was some reception, and you knew he was going to get hit, Jim.
Well,
we'll see it again here.
Howard has those great moves and fine hands, and he does take some good hits all throughout the season. He's done a fine job for it. He's our leading pass receiver.
Well, this has to be a key play in the ball game. 4th down and 4. Obviously, they have to go for it.
No question about it.
What are they going to do, Joe?
I think Jude's going to throw. Larson over the middle.
And he's going to the end zone. That's incomplete, and there's the flag.
That was to Dave Green, and he definitely was bumped just as the ball was in there, thrown perfectly, and
that was a good call.
It was definite interference in the end zone, and we'll see it right here.
That's a little different pattern for us. We don't normally throw to Green deep. He takes a few screen passes now and then, but that's a little bit different, and I don't think East Stroudsburg was quite ready for that one.
And I think there were a couple of hands pushing in there, Skip.
Yeah, everyone was going for the football, but unfortunately someone hit the receiver first, and as you know, that's a no-no.
And Fred Bellina comes out of the defensive secondary now for this goal line stand. Edinboro on the 1 yard line, trailing 24-6. 12 minutes and 4 seconds left in the game. And if it appears to be getting a little dark, it is getting a little dark.
It's getting a little colder, too.
And Horn's trying to drive in, but he didn't get it. He's to about the foot line.
To give any one person credit for a tackle down there is just being foolish. That's the entire middle of that defensive line.
Jim, I think they'll give it to Green this time.
Either one of the two backs will go probably up the middle. I don't think we're going to try anything fancy either here. We need a score and we need to get on the board pretty quick. Probably Rich Holmes again.
Set to go. Takes in, and they gave it to Holmes.
Right. He's your bread and butter short yardage man, and he's done a very good job for us all year long. Senior, we're going to miss him next year.
So Edinboro scores 11:27 to go in the game. 24-13.
Probably go for two here, Bob.
And you can hear the East Stroudsburg fan yelling, block that kick. The cheerleaders down front. 12, right. And Basile lobs it into the corner of the end zone, and it's complete.
Threw it over the head of Willard Stem that time. Willard got back, but couldn't get back far enough.
Okay, and Bain was split way out there, just went into the deep corner of the end zone, and the ball was lofted to him. He made the catch. It's 24-14, and time to hear from Jim. So let's talk about Edinboro.
Well, the previous time out, Skip talked about other athletics at East Stroudsburg, and I'd like to talk a little bit about other athletics at Edinboro State. And we're very proud of our program, intercollegiate program for men and for women. And of course, as you know, women's athletics has moved up very rapidly, and we're proud of our women and the things that they are doing in intercollegiate women's basketball. We had an undefeated women's tennis team this fall, and things are looking up in all of those areas, and wish them the best of luck.
And across the way, the Fighting Scots Marching Band, and they'll be performing, of course, tomorrow out at Three Rivers Stadium, and they really put on a fine halftime show here today for the some 8,000 that may have jammed into Stroudsburg High Stadium for this championship football game. There's the kicker, and here's the kick. Onside's kick, the ball loose.
Edinboro thinks it worked.
Well, Edinboro thinks so. The officials haven't made a decision yet. Well, let's see. Three-point takedown. Edinboro ball.
That was recovered by Howard Hackley, our wide receiver. And, of course, that's a set play, that onside kick. I thought it was a little early to try that, but when you're in a championship game, you just got to try everything. There's no holes barred, and you just have to try everything you can.
Push away East Stroudsburg is running out the clock with their ground game, Jim. As you mentioned, it might be early, but you're going to try to get it while you can.
Right.
So a big break for Edinboro. Back goes Basile. Throws the screen, gives it to Green, gets a block, and he's ankle tackled. A good defensive play, but he gets down to the 37-yard line.
That screen was really setting up very, very well, and it was a good defensive play by the linebacker for East Stroudsburg.
That play conceivably could have gone for a lot more yardage. I thought if he'd cut the block back inside that time, he might have gotten another 10, 15 yards out of it.
Skip looking back, the field goal now by East Stroudsburg looks to be a big thing.
That's a very big 3 points on the board this time.
Home count by Basile. It's a throw, and he gets rid of it off to the flat again to Green, standing out there, and
Nice
Green gets about
tackle.
4.
Very
For
nice
the first down.
Actually, that was Rich Holmes, our back, on a little flare. And Jude looked downfield. There wasn't anybody open, so he just dumped it off to him and got the first down.
I think the key here is that Stroudsburg has to continue to put that pressure on the passer. They did it so well in the end of the first quarter and the whole second quarter. Now the pressure seemed to ease off just a bit. That's the key to this defense being able to work, is pressure from the ends.
And defensive end Purcell checks in for East Stroudsburg. 1st and 10. And here's the interception. Roger Chrisman from Palmerton.
Roger's a senior and had to set out part of this year because of an injury. Roger wanted nothing more than to play on a championship football team, he said. That's why he worked so hard to come back. Here it is, we'll see it again. The throw down the middle, and Roger's right in the center.
Whoops.
Almost wants to spike the ball.
That was a super play, and that sure takes the wind out of your sails.
Well, the key for Edinboro now is to get the ball back as quickly as they can.
Williger gives to the fullback.
We have a flag on the play. Looks like it might be an illegal shift or illegal man in motion for Stroudsburg.
Number 76, excuse me, number 76 running a fullback?
No, I don't think so. Unless that was the wrinkle Coach Dowds was talking about and didn't tell me before the game.
Well, we're trying to pick up that number. I thought he came up with a football.
That's what it was, illegal shift.
All right. Number 14. Running at fullback. And number 21 also. It's
Number 21 is Ed Gears. Ed was the one that came into his own last week against Bloomsburg. He gained 157 yards on the ground, 90 of that on one play.
Well, we've been used to seeing Harold Strunk and Harold standing down here in front of us on the bench.
I noticed Strunk is talking to one of the trainers. I don't know if there's anything wrong with him, or they're just giving him a little bit of a break.
Mike Williger, who's still in there at quarterback. A little inside handoff, and that stopped for a loss.
Meet Mr. Good.
Edinboro and Jim, they're not giving up. They like to get the ball back.
Well,
still plenty of time.
Sure is, and of course the Fighting Scots don't give up. That's a tradition of their nickname, and Ron Gooden is kind of teed off on that foul.
Oh, we're down into the 8-minute mark. I think, as I said before, Edinboro has to stop this drive and has to get the ball back and do something with it.
Skip, you think they'll put it in the air this time?
I'm sure he doesn't want to, but I think he has to.
Well, it's 3rd down and 12 to go, and they shift into the I formation. Here's in the tailback spot. He gets the, no, he doesn't. Good fake, and now it's Williger going long.
I think that's Donato.
Donato, number 18. And what a pass.
That might have been the biggest catch of his young career at college. He's injured.
Donato is injured on the tackle.
I believe he might have fallen on that hand as he came down.
We'll see this pass again, Jim. There's a perfect pass.
He didn't have much sideline to work with, and just put it over the head of Georgie Miller, and it was really a fine throw, and I really didn't think they'd put it up.
That's East Stroudsburg's trainer, Mert Shane, was working on that injury.
Okay, 1st and 10. East Stroudsburg, the ball on the Edinboro 39. And now the give to Gears. He gets a couple of yards to the 36.
There's a shot of Tony Donato that made that clutch catch. This is a youngster that has a lot of speed also. Stroudsburg is not a slow football team. Traditionally, people have thought of Stroudsburg as being a grind-em-out slow football team, but this year they've got some speed to the outside. And they haven't used it all that much, but it's kept the defense honest, and that's just as important for them.
And Tony is a junior from Dunmore. 2nd down and 7 to go for the 1st down. And they give it to Gears again, and he just slams ahead into that line, eating up the clock, getting a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and about 3.
Don Galugas tripped him up on that play. And you're right, it is eating the clock up, and things are looking a little dim for Edinboro right now.
Well, you know and I know, Jim, that football has taken some funny bounces this afternoon.
Sure has today. Unbelievable. This is what we really had to guard against was turnovers, and we have a high turnover rate, and it has hurt us today.
Really taking time again, goes to Gears, and Gears fighting hard, doesn't get the first down. He's short of the 30.
Now that makes for an interesting call. What do you do now?
That's Jimmy Krentz again, freshman linebacker. Very nice hit.
I believe Coach Dowse has decided to kick it away. Obviously, Boyd will try and aim for part of that corner to see as close as he can get it without getting it in the end zone.
Well, Pete Radoka's going into the backfield, and he'll be...
Radoka's going to try a field goal.
They're going to try for field goal, right.
Thunderfoot is going to try to put one in.
He'll kick from the 37. 47-yarder. It is way short. And we're going to return from the 5.
Well, I suppose that served the same purpose as a punt at that point.
And that's Dave Say on the return, and gets it back to the 20-yard line, and it's exactly the same purpose, right?
Yes, Dave would have liked to let that go in the end zone or not take a chance, but
I was kind of surprised that he fielded the ball. I thought he might let it go in.
Well, there wasn't a lot of foot on it, and it might not have made the end zone.
Well, the thing is, the way the ball's been bouncing here with 5:32 to go in the game, you just can't depend on normal things happening in this game. It just hasn't gone that way. First and 10, 80 yards to go for Edinboro. They trail by 10 points, 24-14. Time running out on the Fighting Scots. Seal back. He's going for broke. To the sideline, a completion. Up to 35, and that's 15 yards. It'll be first and 10 for Edinboro.
That's Howard Hackley again on a little comeback pattern, and Jude will take that 15 yards and work his way up the field.
He's taking it well. I'm kind of surprised they're giving him that middle zone to throw in this early. There's still a lot of time left in this football game. You can't be giving up 15 yards on every play.
Well, you can afford some of it, Skip, if you keep them in the playing field and keep the clock going. And they simply reset the line and started the clock. And Basile again throws, hits his man.
It's Howard Hackley again, in exactly the same way, only this side of the field. Same play.
Basile was threading the needle with that football, that time between 3 East Stroudsburg defenders.
And another 15 yards. Ball now at midfield.
Well, they figure if they can get a score and maybe try the onside again, anything could happen.
Coach Dowds has gone to a 4th defensive back, I noticed, in the ball game. He's putting in not a prevent defense, but this is a defense that he uses when it becomes obvious the team is going to put the ball in the air.
Seal again, throwing long this time. Man, that's almost out of the ballpark. It hits at the 2-yard line.
Closest person to that was a security guard down in the end zone.
Right.
Well, Howard Hackley was pretty well covered that time, and I think Jude saw that and let it fly.
That's nice luxury to have when you've got a young man that can put the ball in the air that far if he has to.
Well, Jude has an excellent arm.
And he had been injured, but back in the ball game now. Trying to get Edinboro just a bit closer. Of course, time, as we mentioned, now becomes a very big factor. We're down to 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Protection. Now it breaks down. He gets it away. And a near interception at the 30-yard line, about a foot short of the East Stroudsburg defender down there, and that was number 18.
Rich Rodenberger, number 19.
Rodenberger, 19, right.
The safety.
Well, Jude went to Steve Larson, the tight end, and he was open, but the ball was a little high. And again, good pressure on Jude, and he took another big hit back there.
That young man's taking a lot of punishment this afternoon so far, and still comes up throwing.
He's hanging in there. I guess you could say, Skip, this might be a big play.
I think you might say that this is a big play.
10, Basile back.
credit to that interception for Jeff Johnson as you do to number 36, Mike Stambaugh. Mike hit Jude just as he got rid of the ball and forced him to underthrow it just slightly. We'll see it here on replay. Stambaugh comes with an outside rush. Just as he's getting rid of the ball, he got him.
And Johnson left the officials know that he had the football. There he is. Well, once again, the Warriors of East Stroudsburg get a chance to run some more time off in this football game. Terwilliger wants to keep it, and he decided to pitch out, but then pulled it back in, and when he was tackled, loses about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
That's senior Don DeLugas on that play, and Greg Sullivan in on the cover. They're kind of going for the quarterback right now. They don't think he's going to throw it, and I don't think they will either. Just trying to run some more time off.
Coach Dowd says when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Right.
It's true.
Across the way, Coach Bill McDonald from Edinboro, walking up and down. Looking out onto the field. They'd like to get the football back again. Now it's loose. And again, Edinboro, the Scots think they have it. The official says give it to Edinboro.
Well,
there's the break.
There's another one. Don DeLugas, defensive tackle, recovered that fumble. And it's been a strange game on turnovers.
So once again, Skip, the East Stroudsburg defense getting a workout here in this final quarter.
Well, the defense is, as they said in the beginning of the program, the defense has been noted for bending but not breaking. That's what they've done all year long. They're held together really by 3 ball players in the last part of the season. Rich Nicholas, the tackle, Willard Stem, the one defensive halfback, and Roger Crispin, the other. This may be their stiffest test all year, right here with 3:39 left to go in the ballgame.
Seal back, sending Glasser down now over the middle, and near completion. Dave Green came out of the backfield and had a hand on it, but couldn't hold it.
Again, some good pressure from the outside, but Green was open and just slightly overthrown. And that's a deep pattern for him we haven't seen much this year.
I'm kind of surprised they might not go to Green a little bit more, because once he gets the ball and gets a little bit of running room, I think he'd be devastating to try to tackle one-on-one.
Right, we've been pretty successful with the screen to Rich Holmes and to Green, but he was in that deep pattern.
Well, anytime you have 2 backs that rush for almost 2,000 or over 2,000 yards between them, that's an awesome backfield.
And Green resets now in the slot to the right. They're sending 4 receivers. On the screen to Holmes. And out of bounds to stop the clock.
There was our screenplay to Rich Holmes, and that's been very successful. And I'll tell you, when he gets under motion, the backs just don't like to tackle him.
And just short of the first down by half a foot.
This may be a good down to do something on.
You know, he's come back on 4th down and pick up that short yardage. At least you can try to pick it up.
3rd down, the ball on the Stroudsburg 25. 24-14 in the score. Seal back to throw. And a big hand, number 61 again. That's Jeff Johnson, had a hand on the ball.
Well, there's no choice now. He has to go for the first down. And again, Green is getting open, but very impressed with the linebacker play of East Stroudsburg. They're dropping very well. They're rushing when they have to, and they're putting a lot of pressure on the passer, but the linebackers have played extremely well and dropping back into short zones.
So it's 4th down and inches for the first down. And the first down is picked up as they go to Holmes, and Holmes dives over the left side, has the first down, the ball now on the 22.
That was a close exchange there. The ball started to slip down on Rich, but he held on and got the first down.
Time rapidly running away. We're down to almost the 3-minute mark here in the 4th quarter.
I think Edinboro's going to have to start using some of their timeouts pretty soon.
Because really they have to get 2 more scores to come into the ballgame, not just this one.
Right.
Seal again sets a screen up. He goes to Holmes. Holmes to the 20 and battled, and he is hit inside the 15-yard line at about the 13.
Well, that's a very successful play for us, but it is a time-consuming, tight play. The screen takes a while to set up. It was a good play. It was 8 yards, but it does take a lot of time.
We're used to seeing in professional football where they can get off 8-10 plays in the last 30 seconds, but using sidelines and the 2-minute warning and everything else. But unfortunately for Edinboro, the clock continues to run.
And they set up the slot right. Seal back to throw. Lot of time. Goes the end zone, and it's a catch at the 6.
Steve Larson again on a nice catch and a good hit, but he held on. He popped up out of his hands, but he held on to it for the first down.
First down and goal to go for Edinboro.
Here's a replay. That was a beautiful catch there at the 6-yard line. He held on to that ball, and we hate to keep mentioning it, but with this cold weather, it's very, very difficult to put two good hands on a football.
Absolutely. The boys have done a good job on both teams.
Skip, you mentioned the pros. It's now under 2 minutes, so normally they get the automatic timeout, but it's not happening here at Stroudsburg High Stadium. The give to Holmes. He gets to the 3. They'll have to use those timeouts now.
Yes, he has to call.
There's a timeout.
Okay, so we have a timeout with 1:34 left in the game. It's 24-14. So, Jim, how about a final word for Edinboro State College?
Well, we're not out of the ball game yet, but I do want to pay tribute to the seniors on the team that are probably playing their last ball game for Edinboro State, and we do appreciate their efforts. Wes Bain and Jim Bartow, and Jude Basile, our fine senior quarterback, Don DeLugas, Mike Ferrari, a backup linebacker, Rich Holmes, of course, number 35, has done a fine job for us today. Larry Littler, our record-breaking kicker for Edinboro State. Dave McGartland, an offensive guard. Ron Natupski, the veteran of the squad, back from the service and completing his senior year. He'll be playing his last game. Rick Radzevich, fine offensive guard. David Say, number 32, our great safety. Dan Smith, Rick Vornador, and Andre Wackenheimer.
Okay, and during the timeout across the way, we had a look at Coach Bill McDonald for Edinboro, and there is Denny Dowds, head coach at East Stroudsburg State. It's very serious.
That gentleman with Coach Dowds was Tom Kozlowski, last year's third-team Little All-American linebacker at East Stroudsburg. Tom came back to campus this weekend to wish everyone well. He only wished he could have played on the championship team.
With time running out, trying to get another score for the Fighting Scots. Into the end zone, it's a touchdown. Brady 2.
Well, there's Jude Basile again. You know, he's a very cool senior. He knows what he has to do, and he did it that time. That was a fine throw and a fine catch. It's Mark Malone, our tight end.
So it's 24-20, and there's a replay, and the fine catch by Malone comes up with a football. Of course, they're going for 2. And then we can again look for that onside kick.
I would think the odds are with an onside kick, that's for sure.
Well, one thing about the coach, East Stroudsburg, his prediction was right. This is a high-scoring game, and a lot of things are happening, and a very exciting ball game.
And they're setting up now for the 2-point conversion.
I think that was a good call by Bill McDonald. He certainly was not going for any tie today. He knew that the 2 points would make a field goal a victory, and I think it was a fine call. That's what championship teams are made of.
Okay, Skip, a quick word for East Stroudsburg State.
Bob, this is a special announcement just for you. Would you like to learn yoga? Or how about studying contemporary political and social problems? All of these subjects are being covered in continuing education courses offered at East Stroudsburg State College. You don't have to be a full-time student to attend college. The continuing education program is designed for all individuals throughout the Lehigh Valley and northeastern Pennsylvania. For additional information, contact Dr. Richard Luce, Director of Continuing Education at the college.
And Larry Littler.
You know what this one will be, Bob.
Yes, and East Stroudsburg has 9 players 10 yards away from the football.
We have every back that's on our roster on our front line because they're the people with the good hands. So all the backs are right up on the front line.
And here's the whistle and the big kickoff. It nubbed and it's in the air. And I believe it's pulled down by a red shirt.
That was a big play.
Okay, it's East Stroudsburg ball at the 46.
That was a sigh of relief you heard coming from this side.
That ball was up in the air, and that was anybody's ball, and that was a fine onside kick.
You couldn't ask for a better kick, that's for sure. It did what it had to do.
That's right.
Give that line a chance to penetrate that 10 yards and possibly pick up the ball.
Well, once it's up in the air like that, fellas, you got to wait till it comes down, so whoever grabs it, it's their ball. East Stroudsburg has possession, 1st and 10. Minute and 30 seconds left in this championship football game. Hand off to Radoka, breaks the tackle, gets to the outside, has a first down. And he is certainly the East Stroudsburg State bread and butter man.
That's for sure. Pete has played a typical Pete Radoka game, and I'm not degrading the game he's played. It has been a super football game. Once again, he's taken a bruising beating in there as he runs the ball so many times.
And now Edinboro will call timeout with 1:17 remaining. And Jim, of course, we hope the people out your way in Erie on channel WGLN television, channel 54, are enjoying this game, and I hope they're listening to you.
Well, it's certainly been a great ball game. The momentum has shifted back and forth. We've had some great passing. We've had some fine running. There's some good hitting going on out there, and everybody's giving it their best. And I think these are just 2 fine, well-balanced teams, and they're just going head-to-head, and this is what it's all about.
I better correct that. It's so cold up here, my shivering, the Q turned into a G all of a sudden. But that's WQLN TV, channel 54 in Erie, and happy to have them aboard.
Well, we appreciate all the things they've done for us over the years. They've just been great and contributed very much to the college development in Edinboro, and we're happy to have them carrying our game.
1st and 10, East Stroudsburg. Willard Stem coming off the field. He makes it.
I didn't quite know what Willard was doing on the field.
Again to Radoka, and again long yardage. He pushed ahead and gets another first down inside the 30.
You really can't say enough about Pete Radoka, the kind of ball game he had this afternoon. But again, when you talk about Pete Radoka, you have to talk about Harold Strunk. You have to talk about the interior of that offensive line. They're the ones that make it go. All you have to do, as Coach Dowd says, is execute. And what we tell you will work, will work.
And we have another timeout called to stop the clock with 1:11 showing. And our final thanks to John Eiler and Pete Nevins from the college here at East Stroudsburg State. And also to the folks out at Edinboro, Al Hall, Director of Athletics, Paul Newman, Director of Sports Information, and Bob Wallace, Director of Radio and Television at Edinboro State College. And this has been a fine football game, and score 24-20. So you couldn't ask for much more for championship caliber football.
Jim, how about we make a deal? We both win our divisions next year, and we meet out at Edinboro next year.
It'll be the meeting in the West, and I hope that happens. But, you know, there's a lot of time between seasons. We have a very young team. We've had some seasoned veterans, but we have some people coming back on our defense, and, you know, we'll be there. We'll be there.
And I think Edinboro State is out of timeouts.
That's correct.
So Mark Terwilliger will fall on the football.
That's why they put Willard Stem in the game. Willard's in as a blocking back now on this end of the game offense, I guess you can call it. The idea is just at this point to fall on the ball and let it go.
Of course, East Stroudsburg will probably continue to play football, right?
Oh, I think they'll continue to play football. They've got a lot of young ball players out there. Of course, they'll miss the seniors. The seniors are the catalyst that make it go. But this year's juniors become seniors next year, and the leadership will change hands.
Well, Skip, how about the possibilities of playing this year in the playoffs?
Well, the bowl bid is a possibility. They had to beat Edinboro to possibly get a bowl bid. A lot depends upon what happens to Lehigh and what happens to Massachusetts. Naturally, Stroudsburg would like the opportunity to play in a postseason competition. They've never had that opportunity.
They would certainly be very representative, showing they put on today.
Well, I think either team, if they'd have won here today, would have been very representative. The Fighting Scots have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. That is one heck of a football team from Erie. That's for sure.
Well, we're really quite proud of the boys, and we had a chance, I think, if we'd have beat East Stroudsburg today, to possibly get an NAIA bid. With our 2 losses previously, there wasn't really much hope for anything in the NC2A, but we were ranked fairly high in the NAIA, and there was a possibility.
Well, as of now, with the 10th win of the season for Stroudsburg, they now have the best record in the East of any Division II school at 10-0. Massachusetts was 9-0 going into the game today. Lehigh was 8-1 going into their game today, but who knows what the NCAA and their ultimate wisdom will do.
Well, whatever they do, the people here today, some 8,000 at the Stroudsburg High Stadium, certainly saw a fine football game. It had just about everything. It had plenty of running, fine passing, weird plays, weird bounces of football. Now the clock has been restarted. There will be no more further action. And of course,
Well, I guess the ball game is over.
it's over, and East Stroudsburg State College is the Pennsylvania State champion.
Has to be a very satisfying win for Coach Dowd. Last year as the acting head coach, then he led the team to a 5-5 record. This year, not too many people gave him much chance of going undefeated, that's for sure. He hoped to have a winning season. He was honest about it. He thought he had a good ball club. He didn't really know how good they would be. I think the turning point of the season very well might have been the first game of the season, out at Slippery Rock. It's always a difficult game to play out at Slippery Rock, and this year the Warriors not only won, but they came away with a shutout. And I think that was important because the defense realized with that shutout that they could do a lot of things that the coaches were telling them they could do, and then they believed it. And from then on, the season just seemed to catapult into better and better performances every week.
And down in the field again, some of the final action excitement. A very happy football team from East Stroudsburg State College in a very fine football game. The final, once again, East Stroudsburg State 24, Edinboro State 20. Today's football game was made possible through funds provided in underwriting grants by Mount Airy Lodge and by Penn Hills Resort, and by Saw Creek, the Poconos Resort Living Community, and also by Edinboro State College as a public service to friends of the college and to their alumni everywhere. And this is Bob Garris, along with Jim Dronsfield of Edinboro State College and Skip Iadukas of East Stroudsburg State College, saying so long from Stroudsburg High School Stadium in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.